Hello amazing leaders, and welcome to day 74 of the Amazing 90-Day Challenge. Today I'm in a different location, as you can probably see if you're watching the video. If you're listening to the podcast, then I'm away on a business retreat for a couple of days with some other amazing leaders, so I'm really excited to listen, learn and sort of meet with them and just sort of build relationships on a different and deeper level with some of the guys that I've known for a while now, so I'm really excited about that. One of the things that we're going to be doing today is we're going to be sharing our top three. Now, it's something that I came up with that I suggested to the group that we do because I love learning from other people, and I wanted to know what their top three were. And the top three things that we're going to talk about is your sort of favourite book, or a book that you're reading at the moment that you're really enjoying. That's your first one. A documentary, maybe something that you've watched on Netflix or on Primed, or something else that you've seen, maybe a TED Talk, whatever else it might be, something like that, something visual. And then the last one is your favourite podcast as well. So I've got my top three that I'm going to be sharing with the guys today. So I'm giving you a preview of what they are, and then hopefully you'll be able to take something from that and be able to learn and be able to look them up as well. So the first thing is the book. Now this is really hard. I'm a great reader. I love reading different types of things, obviously lots around leadership and about business, but other things as well. So one of my ultimate all-time favourites, and there's so many, but this one I'm going to share with you and with the guys this afternoon, it's called It's Your Ship, S-H-I-P, by D. Michael Abrashoff. And he is the captain of a US Navy ship, the USS Benfold, and it's his story about how he turns that ship from one of the worst in the fleet to one of the best in the fleet. And I won't say much more about that. My only advice is you can find the book, although it's quite hard to find it. The best way to listen to this book is by going on to Audible. And the writer himself, Captain Abrashoff, he reads his own story back to you. And I've listened to this book multiple times. It's one of the very few that I do go back and listen to as well. I share it with everybody that's in our senior management team and everybody that sort of wants to know what's my favourite book of all time. That's one of the top sort of five, I guess, and that's one that I'm sharing with the guys today. So have a look, check it out on Audible. It's Your Ship, and there's another one called It's Our Ship, which is a follow-up to that one as well by the same guy. Really enjoy it, great story, great leadership lessons there for us all to learn as well. The second one is a documentary, and again this one's tricky. There's so many things out there that have been made that are fantastic, but my father actually, he introduced me to this one a little while ago. It's called Undercover Billionaire, excuse me, and it's on Discovery. I found it on Discovery Plus here in the UK through the app, so you can go back. There's actually two series now, 2 seasons. I really encourage you to go back and watch the first one. I'll give you the premise, it won't spoil anything, but the premise of the documentary is that a billionaire goes undercover. He goes to a city and a state in America that he's never been to before, and he's only got $100. They gave him a $100 bill, an old truck and a telephone, a mobile phone with no contacts on it. So he can't use his network, he can't use his contact, he can only use what he's got in his mind to be able to turn that $100 and an old truck and the mobile phone into $1 million business in 90 days. Hence why, maybe you now see why I'm doing some of these amazing 90-day challenges, and it was inspired by one of these documentaries as well. So there's 2 seasons, like I said. Go and watch the first one first before you watch the second one. They're both very different and really inspiring, really exciting to watch how it evolves, what happens and what they do. And then at the end as well, what happens and whether they reach that valuation or not. So that's called Undercover Billionaire on Discovery. And then the third one is about a podcast. Now I'm going to share with you a podcast now. Again, there's so many and I really enjoy listening to them, but this is one that I'm going to share, which actually I learned from one of the other guys. So I've got another one for this afternoon, but I wanted to share this one with you, my podcast listeners and my social media watchers and viewers as well. It's called the High Performance Podcast, and it's by Jake Humphrey and Damon Hughes. Jake Humphrey is a television presenter. He did the Formula One. I think he does football presenting now as well. And Damon Hughes is a sports psychologist, Professor Damon Hughes. And together they interview different people from sporting backgrounds through to business and all sorts of people. Really inspiring, really interesting to see the mindset of high performers And I would really encourage you to check that out, the High Performance Podcast. You'll be able to find it on any podcast site that you listen to it from, and let me know what you think as well. So they're my 3. Be really interested to know what you think of those, so let me know in the comments. The other thing as well is I want you to share what you're learning with others. I don't know if you've done that or not. I don't know if you've got a network of people around you that you can share your ideas, the things you're learning, the books, the resources, the documentaries, the podcasts. If you haven't already, maybe you could share this one. Maybe you could share today's one as a starter to say, look, this is why I'm sharing this with you, because this guy told me to. He said, go and share this podcast with some other people, and then go back and listen to day 1 of this amazing 90-day challenge, and then that will give them some other insights as well. I've got some people that have just started listening, and they're going back from day 1 and listening all the way through as well. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, what are those around you sharing with you? The people around you, your network, are they sharing things with you? Now, what are they sharing? Because people can share both positive and negative things with you. So make sure you're learning positive things from people. If not, you've got to ask yourself, am I in the right group? Am I surrounding myself with the right people? Because like I said to you, one of my top 3, the High Performance Podcast, came from a friend of mine who's in this group who I'm going to be spending the next couple of days with, and he shared that with the group. Now, without him sharing that, I may have found it, I may have come across it at some point, but because he shared it with me, I've been able to listen to lots of those episodes and continue to listen to those as well, and learning so much from just one comment that he said and shared with me today. So that's why I'm really excited. We're going to have multiple people sharing their top 3 ideas. I'm going to be making lots of notes about what other people, my peers, people that I aspire to, other amazing leaders around me, are considering their top 3 books, documentaries and podcasts. So I'm really excited to learn that. I want you to be excited to be around people that are sharing their knowledge with you as well. If they're only sharing bad things, gossip, negativity, putting you down, your ideas down, or other people's ideas down, always talking about the government and how difficult things are, lack of this, lack of that, you need to think about what that's doing to you, because you are the average of the 5 people you spend your most time with. And if you're spending your time with those sorts of people, that's only going to lead one way for you. Get yourself into a better group. Whatever you need to do, you have to have another job to be able to pay for this second group, then I'd advise you to do it. Look up online where are mastermind groups around me, people that I can be inspired by and learn from, and hopefully share your knowledge with and help them learn as well. So that's something I really encourage you to do today. If you haven't done that already, even if you have, is there another group? Is that group that you're in, is that still current? Is it getting stagnant? Do you need to look for another one? There's a great saying, you need to be the dumbest person in your group, which isn't hard for me, but I want you to always think like that. I want you to think that I've got to be learning. I can't always be the best person in the group, because otherwise I'm not growing and learning and getting out of my comfort zone. So I'm really excited to be the dumbest person in our group so that I can learn. I ask silly questions, I ask lots of questions, I challenge things. If someone says an abbreviation that I don't know what it means, I ask them what does that mean, and then I learn from it. And often other people around me learn as well, because they don't know what those abbreviations mean. We talk about them in our own daily lives and businesses, but other people don't know what they mean. So challenge that in yourself and in the group of people you're with. So it's over to you now. What's your top 3? What's your book, your documentary and your podcast? Share those in the comments so we can all learn from you as well. Wherever you're listening to this or watching this, just share it in your comments. Book, documentary, podcast, it could be a TED talk, could be a YouTube clip or something like that, if that helps. Anything that's going to inspire us, anything that's going to be positive, anything that's going to fill our day with learning more about something we didn't know before. So I hope that's helpful. I hope you'll have an amazing day, and remember, why be average when you can be amazing?